Yo, what is up? It is your boy Zether, back at it again with part 3 to what if Deku had Kid Flash's powers. On the last part, you guys massacred the like button. You guys ended up hitting 442 likes. God damn. So, on this next part, you guys are going to be having to hit, I'm going to go with 350 likes. It should be pretty doable. Yeah, it should be pretty doable for you guys since you guys are on a roll. So 350 likes and I'll be dropping part 4. But with that being said, let's get into the recap and then get started. So, yeah. Alright, so on the last part, we ended up covering the heroes versus villains. We also covered the USJ attack with a little bit of a, Deku and Katsuki moments. We had also, captured Shigaraki and Kurogiri this time. I'm setting something up that, I kind of want to switch I kind of want to flip the script this time. I don't want Shigaraki to be the main villain. It'll be just too easy. So, that being said, we're going to go ahead and skip on over to the UA Sports Festival. Where, oh wait, no, not skip over, but that's what we skipped over to. And we had also established that Katsuki and Deku, they're now dating. So, yeah, and Deku had actually ended up winning the sports festival. So, with that being said, they recently started doing a little bit of studying, But with that being said, let's officially get right into this video. And yeah, okay, so after the sports festival, all the kids would pretty much arrive back in class. Deku would have woken up in Inko's house, in his house, as his mom would have woken him up, saying, Deku, it's time for school, as Deku would say, right, as he actually wakes up 1 minute before school starts. Why is this? Well, because he can do everything in under that time. So, he grabs his breakfast, and then he tells his mom, bye mom, gotta go, as his mom would say, wait, I gotta talk to you about, and she's like, the birds and the bees. I guess I'll talk to you when you get back. As Deku would then rush off to school. As today, they're actually going to be told about their sort of internships as well as their, their hero names. And what would Deku pick? Well, when he was going up there, he was originally just going to be picking Deku since that's the nickname that Katsuki gave to him. But then people started in the class were like, what? That's kind of lame. If I was you, I would name myself Flash. I mean, a lot of people were calling you that in the sports festival. I mean, you were literally just a flash in their eyes. I mean, you went by and took everybody out in a flash. So that'd be pretty cool. Maybe you should name yourself that. As Deku would say, maybe I should. You know what? I am. As he would grow up and show his name. Name being Kid Flash. Not Flash. He's going to change that once he grows up. But for now... Sorry, excuse me, but for now, he's going to be using the name of Kid Flash. But with that being said, let's go ahead and keep going. Katsuki would end up using Dynamite. And yeah, that being said, let's go ahead and go over who they all ended up picking. So in this version of events, Deku's actually still going to be going with Gran Torino. Not for the same reasons of mastering full cowling or anything like that, but just because of the reason that he has a little bit of a familiarity with Gran Torino, being that he actually trained him for a little bit and taught Deku the importance of unorthodox movements. What if there's somebody who can cancel this quirk or something? That's not gonna be able to happen because he actually has a speed force, but they don't know that though. But yeah, and Katsuki would have actually also gone with Gran Torino, being that she has one for all, and Gran Torino kind of wants to whip her into shape. Granted, she already does have 20%. I'm pretty sure that's what I ended up giving her on the last part. Yeah, she has about 20% mastered. So, with that being said, Deku would then pick his heroes as he would go home, and the very next day they're gonna arrive on the train and go off. So, as this is happening, Katsuki would actually ask Deku if he wants to go eat with her, as he would say sure. Just like always, as he would go eat with her family, and in a flash, Deku would say his thanks and then go back home. As Inko would say, hey, did you already eat already? As Deku would say, yeah, but I can go for seconds. I mean, I do need to eat a lot. And she would say, yeah, I know. And she would say, I have your food ready, but I also want to talk about something. As Deku would say, what's up, Mom? As she would say, well, you've been getting older, and I think it's time that we started talking about something. And since you're now dating Katsuki, I figured I might talk to you about the birds and the bees. As Deku's face would just go white. He would look like he just saw a ghost. As Deku would blitz on out of there, she would say, but we're gonna talk about this eventually, young man. As she's smashing on Deku's door, saying, if you don't come out here right now, it's gonna be even harder than it has to be. As Deku would just be like, another day, Mom. I'm not ready for this. as Deku would blitz out of there, locking his room and getting out the window, as Deku would go over to Katsuki's house, trying to just avoid his mom for the night. You know, he's just not ready for that. He would tell Katsuki, and her face would go white as a ghost, as he would decide just to stay over that day. So with that being said, Deku would blitz over to his house just before they can go on the train, grab all of his stuff, and then meet Katsuki at the train, kind of dodging his mom. And when he does that, he and her would proceed to do a little bit of, a little bit of making out on the train, while they're on the way. There's no studying because, they're in a public place right now, but that's going to change it a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and have them arrive. This is when Gran Torino would pull his little ketchup prank, as Deku would blitz on over there and say, no, as he would shake him, and Gran Torino would say, stop shaking me so hard, kid, as Deku would say, right, as Gran Torino would get up and say, so, you ready for this? As Gran Torino would jump on the wall and go to attack Deku, as Deku would just see him moving in slow motion, as he would, push him out of the way, as his trajectory would mess up, and Gran Torino would hit himself pretty hard, as Deku would say, you do remember that you can't hit me, as Gran Torino would say, I wasn't going for you, as Deku would say, oh. Looks like he was going for you, Katsuki, as she would say, me? Why me? You usually train Deku. As he would say, well, this time I'm going to be training you. You, Deku, you're just going to be focusing on improving your speed. And on this time, Gran Torino is going to murder the boy. He is literally going to have him running day and night non-stop for the next 4 days. And this is going to result in a flash, or in a kid flash, that's as fast as season. How fast should this kid be? Let's just say that he's at Mach 3. He's Mach 3 levels of speed. Yeah. Let's just say he's Mach 3, right? It's pretty damn fast. So, with that being said, yeah, Deku's at Mach 3 and all that. And, yeah. So, nah, that's a little slow. Let's go to Mach 4. Yeah, he's at Mach 4. So, that being said, Deku definitely gets a little bit of an upgrade. And during the nights when Gran Torino's fast asleep, Deku and Katsuki get busy in the alleyway right by the trash cans. They just start studying, they start hitting the books, I haven't gone over some studying yet, and I figured I would go over a little bit of studying in this part. So, with that being said, yeah, and Deku does have his, his armor with him. So, that being said, Deku is, he's pretty good at the moment. So, yeah, I'm going to have something happen a little later on. It's going to be a little, it's going to change things a little bit. So, yeah, just keep in mind that, they've been studying, and, yeah. So, all right, let's keep going. So, after this is when Deku would proceed to, just be told by Gran Torino and Katsuki as well that they're going to be going to Hosu City. So, they would arrive at Hosu City, and this would essentially go like you guys would picture it going. Deku would essentially go in there, and when the Nomu comes in and tries to hit the train, Deku has enough time by using his speed to open the hatch, get out of there, close the hatch, and punch the Nomu. And the Nomu just gets sent flying. The Nomu is done for. Like, as soon as that hit connected, Deku done that Nomu goofed, because Deku had enough time to run around and hit him with the Sonic Punch. As, he would hit him with the Sonic Punch, taking the Nomu out very quick. And after this, he would then proceed to just run around, taking out the rest of the Nomus. Gran Torino and Katsuki would have, never even been aware of this. As, when he's on his way back, he would notice that Ida is right about to fight Stain. As Deku would then grab Ida, get him out of there, as well as the hero native. As Deku would then stand in front of Stain and say, so, how are things? Stain would say, who the hell are you, kid? Are you another one of those fake heroes? As Deku would say, I wouldn't consider myself a fake hero, but I'm not a real hero at the same time. As Stain would say, then you're gonna die. As Stain would rush at Deku and try to stab him, and Deku would dodge and say, whoa there, buddy, I didn't say I was a fake hero, I just mean I'm a hero in training, calm down there, buddy. As Stain would literally try to stab at Deku, but, before he can even, cut on Deku, Deku's just dodging everything. There's no chances for Stain to even hit him. as Deku would say, "You're gonna need to cool down," as Deku would grab Stain using his top speed and throw him in a pool. As Stain would get up and be angered by this, as Deku would just start laughing and, you know, smacking his thigh, being like, "That's a knee slapper," as, you know, Stain would just be like, "You damn bastard," as Katsuki and Gran Torino are just like, "Where did he go?" As Gran Torino would say, "Look, over there, there's a Nomu," as he would bust out of there, as he would see that it's taken out. And Katsuki would go out too. By this point, she has 30% full cowling. Let me write that down in my notes so that, you know, next time I don't mess this up. So, with that being said, Deku would proceed to just toy around with Stain, honestly. I mean, what do you guys expect? It's a normal human with a blood quirk. What the heck is he gonna do? Oh, sneeze coming. Much better. Okay, so, you know, that would go as that happened, and Stain would actually, Ida would actually never get hurt, never realize what actually even happened. By the time that Ida came to, he would realize that Stain was captured and turned into the police, so there would really be no problem with it. Oh, wait! The Nomus... Oh, no, yeah, the Nomus. The Nomus would still come out. The new successor is fast at work, and he actually ended up having a meeting with Stain. I just had to retcon that real quick because I knew some of y'all were going to get on my ass in the comments saying, "Wait, but didn't Shigaraki get taken away?" And then I was going to be like, maybe? And y'all were going to be like, "You fucking dumbass." And I was just going to be like, "I'm sorry." But, yeah, you know, retcon, you know, different guy did that bullshit. But it wasn't for the same reasons as the childish Shigaraki. It was an alliance. Stain and the Nomus had a certain goal. It was to try to lure out as many fake heroes as possible for Stain to massacre on that night. So, yeah, that's my little thing that I'm changing. But with that being said, the entire Hosu incident pretty much goes by pretty damn slowly. By the time that they arrive back from everything, they would then actually have 2 more days, considering that the Hosu incident would have been avoided and nobody would have actually even gotten hurt. The credit would actually go to Gran Torino this time, and Gran Torino would actually be pretty happy that, you know, his pupil, I guess you could say, who's under him at the moment, is, you know, letting him have it, as he would actually just welcome it a little bit. As they would all arrive back, and, you know, when they arrive back, you know, Deku and Katsuki would proceed to just, you know, go home, as Deku would actually have the talk of the birds and the bees with his mother. As this time she would say, "Listen here, kid, you're not about to go away again." She would grab him by the ear and pull him down and say, "Now you're gonna sit here and talk to me about this. Have you been doing, you know, the thing?" As Deku would say, "Mom, I don't know if I want to talk about this with you." As she would say, "Well, you're gonna talk to me about this, little mister." As Deku and her would proceed to have a pretty awkward conversation. Katsuki would just be fine, but at the moment, she just took something, and she's pregnant. She would immediately text Deku that she's pregnant, as Deku would see the message and pass out. He would literally pass out. This is when Deku would be like, no, how am I supposed to become a hero if I'm gonna have a kid? As Deku would just be like, ah, as this is the first time that studying has ever gone wrong, guys. Let me know if you're gonna like this. But yeah, Deku would proceed to now have that on his hands. And this one, Katsuki would say, what do I do? I mean, my parents have been wanting grandchildren, but your mom's gonna kill us. As Deku would say, yeah, as Deku would just be scared and say, "I'm gonna go for a run. We'll talk about this with your parents and mine tomorrow, but I need to breathe." As Deku would proceed to run around. He would keep running and just like lose track of everything. This is when Deku would open a ripple through time. He would run so fast that he had managed to go back in time. And this is when he arrives before the Stain incident. This is when Deku would be there, as he realizes that it was probably... What the heck? What's going on? As Deku would realize that he must have traveled through time. What the heck? It's the same day that they were told about the internships. As Deku would just be like, okay, what do I do? As he would then remember that one of those protections had a hole in them. as he would then, decide that the best course of action for now would be to probably replace his, double, since he doesn't want to mess anything up right now, to tell his double what the heck's going on. Or, replace the box with some new protection. As he would do that, and then wonder how the hell he's going to get back. As Deku would remember that he had ran so fast. As Deku would try it again, but nothing. He would keep trying to run at that same speed for about 2 weeks, as he could not do it. Until one day, Deku's just pissed off and he finally manages to do it. But he actually ends up shooting a little bit too far. And by a little bit too far, I mean 1 week too far. And by this point, they had already done the rescue training race, and they would have actually already done the final exams arc. And it would have been about 2 weeks that he actually went into the future. When he came back, Katsuki would be like, hey, as Deku would say, hey, Katsuki. She would say, where were you? As Deku would say, oh, I've been feeling sick. As she would say, really? Your mom said you've been missing. As Deku would say, yeah, I was going on a run and I don't know what happened. Everything just went blank from there. She would say, oh, that's understandable. Well, you're gonna have to go talk to Nezu, since, we kind of went through the final exams. So Deku would say, really? Oh, crap. As he would then report to Nezu and tell him about what happened. As Nezu would be like, kid, you managed to time travel you moved so fast, you managed to open a hole through time. As Deku would say, yeah. As Nezu would just be astounded, and he would say, listen, you're gonna fight All Might, and if you win, as well as taking a test, and if you win, you're gonna come with the forest training arc. If not, you're gonna have to do the remedial course training as well as the forest training with the other students. As Deku would say he understands, as Nezu would have given him a pretty light pass, considering that he just did something that nobody else has ever been able to do. As Aizawa would actually be Nezu would actually be extremely proud of Deku, and Deku would actually go by it, and it would go by pretty easy. Deku would look the answers off Nezu and pass with the 100, as Deku would actually just run out of the arena that All Might was in, as All Might would just sigh and say, figured much. As, now we're going to go ahead and skip on over to the forest training arc. This is where things are going to go a little different. We might have the little revelation of who this little leader is, but I'm going to be saving that for the next part. I'm still going to keep going, but you guys are not going to know who that is until a while. So, this is when all of the people are on the bus, and Deku would realize that, there's not too many changes that he can see. As Deku would look around, and this is when he would notice that Ida's not there. As Deku would, ask Katsuki what happened to Ida, she would say, oh, you don't remember? I mean, Ida died. As Deku would say, oh. As that's what he caused to happen. That was the effect of going back in time. Him not having a kid means Ida died. And why is this happening? Because honestly, because I couldn't just make it so that everything's dandy. So I figured what's the least problem that I could cause for Deku, and that is killing Ida. So yeah, Ida's dead. Is my evil laugh good? Let me know down in the comments. But yeah, guys, so Ida's dead now, and Deku would be a little sad realizing that maybe coming back wasn't the right decision. But then he would remember that that would have happened if Deku wasn't there in the first place. So Deku would just kind of think whether he should go back or just leave things the way they are. As Deku would realize that things aren't that bad except for that changes. Deku would just be wondering to himself, what the heck should he do? As he would just be thinking about everything. It's just what do I do? As there's no time right at the moment. They're on the bus, and they're pretty much on the way to the forest training. It's at this point that Deku is essentially just on the bus with the rest of the students as they get thrown on like candy. This time though, Deku grabs Katsuki and actually races over there, as he would then proceed to explain to her everything that had happened, how before he actually traveled through time, and she would be dumbstruck as Deku would say, yeah, that's what happened, and I ended up shooting a little too far in the future. So he would tell her that Ida died, and she would say, what the heck, we were gonna have a kid? So Deku would say, yeah, and I accidentally went back in time and fix that. And she would smack him on the head and say, why the hell would you do that? Deku would say, we were gonna die. She would say, we died in the future? Like in your timeline? As Deku would say, no, my mom was gonna and she would say, you idiot. Now look what you did. He is dead now. And she'd be pretty mad at Deku as, they would have a little bit of a problem together. As Deku would say that he's trying to fix it, that he'll fix it. He'll find a way. If there is a way, but he doesn't know if he should go back. What if he changes something and somebody else ends up dying too? Or what if he messes up even worse? As Katsuki would understand, and she would realize that from now on, no more messing with time, as Deku would understand what she means, as they would just be talking as the rest of the students would arrive. This is when things would essentially kind of go to canon, except this time Deku doesn't get punched in the balls. This time it's Todoroki. Todoroki gets nut punched and he gets pretty damn mad. But, he can't really do anything to a kid. So, all the events essentially go to canon. They have a pretty good day eating. They have the little jacuzzi thing. Koda gets saved by Deku. And, the very next day, they start training. Just like I said, Deku would essentially just be doing speed training. With an extra thing. But you guys will find that out in the next part. But with that being said, guys, it has been your boy Zether, and I hope you guys hit 350 likes for the next part. But with that being said, it has been your boy Zether, and like always, peace.